Alright, in this video we're going to do some home improvements to the garage door. So we're going to be doing three things. So let's look at what we're going to be doing to the garage door. Well, I decided to go ahead and replace the rollers with these nylon rollers. It's supposed to make it quieter. So I'll show you the replacement and the before and after to see how quiet it gets. Next on the list is the bottom seal. I'm going to replace the seal. The one on the garage door now is basically flattened out. So I think the door is closing too much. I'm going to lift it up so it has a seal on it that is less flattened. More oval is what I'm going to shoot for. The third improvement is a bottom weather seal. This is going to go on the garage door underneath the door seal. So this will go on the floor, and the other one, this guy, will go on the door, and they'll kind of mate up it with each other, as it were. This job requires the application of an adhesive, and so they gave us 2 tubes. We'll see if that's enough. I also have some liquid nails just in case. That's the pattern they want me to use. Replacing the rollers is purely mechanical. It's a matter of removing the bolts to give you access to this guy, and hopefully that's the noise that's eliminated. The only trouble is there's a spring-mounted cable up at the top, and so I think what I'm going to do is open up the door and replace the bottom roller one at a time when the door is open, and that way the cable has the least amount of energy in it, and by doing them one at a time with the door open, I'm hoping that I don't have to deal with locking that spring closed. However, if I do have to lock it closed, I have something that'll fit in there. It's like a steel rebar that I can put in there and lock it up against the wall so that it doesn't move. But we'll see. Hopefully this won't be difficult. So here's the reason for my repair. The bottom seal doesn't go all the way to the end. Actually, I moved it down so it sealed the other end, but it was about evenly split. So it's at least 2 inches on either side before I moved it, so that about the 4 to 6 inches are all on this side. And what I was noticing is I was getting all kinds of creatures in the garage, and so I finally realized that this was the issue, and my seal was pretty flat and short. I have a 16-foot garage door. Actually, it's 16 feet and 4 inches. So when you purchase these seals, you want to purchase them larger than you need. If they come exactly 16 feet, I'd be 4 inches short. So I purchased 20 feet to make sure I had enough seal to go the entire length of the garage door. So if you have a 10-foot door, order the 16-foot. And if you have a 20-foot door, good luck, because I think 20 feet is about the max I've seen online. Alright, so let's get a before and after. This will be before I do any work. That'll be recording the amount of noise that the garage door makes when it's opening. So my plan did work. I was able to get the old one out, and I should be able to get the new one in easy enough. And I'll just line everything back up and screw it in place here. back in place. And I'll get this lined up to start the screws here. I like to get them all started, that way I know they're aligned. If I tighten one down and they're misaligned, then I can't get the other ones in. Alright, both the bottom ends are in. This side went a whole lot easier than the other side. So now I'm just going to lower the door and do all the other ones. Alright, there we have it. All our new rollers are in place. And I recommend doing them one at a time. They're easy to fish in and fish out. However, what you want to notice is not all of the hinges are the same. So that's a plate, which I did separately. There's a single and there's a double. So if you forget the orientation, you can take digital pictures or do them one at a time. For mine, all of the bolts had slots in them except for the bottom one. The bottom one just had a hole, so you just I just oriented them all down like that. And then all of mine were on the outside hinge. You see how the hole for the roller will bring the door closer to the wall. Well, mine were all set further away. So anyway, you can notice those details so you can assemble it back correctly. And now for the test to see how quiet it is or isn't. Well, that is a marked improvement. That is much quieter than those metal ones. Well, there's the old shake, rattle, and roll rollers. So I'll trash those. I sure don't want them back. Alright, for the next part of the project, I have adjusted the door travel so that it doesn't close all the way. Basically, I turned the adjustment screw 1/2 turn, and that is the result right there. So that should give me plenty of room to put the new weather strip on the bottom of the door and the new sealing strip on the floor. So I'll get started with those projects. Alright, now we're going to replace the bottom weather strip on the garage door, and actually that's going to be done with the door open. Alright, with the safety tag out of the way and the door open, I have plenty of room to pull that weather stripping out of the channel. It's kind of a tongue and groove kind of thing. So let me get started on that. Because I'm not taking the whole track off, I'm just going to be able to just pull it right out. You can see how easy it is to get it out. That's not saying the new one will be that easy to get in. But the old one's definitely easy to get out. Out with the old, you can see how crappy it was. Just lots of dirt. It was just flattened to the point where it was just useless. Before you purchase the replacement door weather stripping, you're going to need to know what size tongue and groove you're going to need. Mine is a 1/4 inch. They also come in 5/8. So just be aware of the length and width of everything. You can always cut a piece off of the old door and measure it. That's what I did because I knew I was going to replace it. So be sure you know what size you need so you can order the correct replacement part. Alright, the install is a matter of feeding the new one in, so that's going to be fun. So this is going pretty smoothly. I'm going to film a little bit of it. Alright, earlier in the video I might have said that I adjusted the door travel length by a half a turn. Well, I went another half a turn so that the weather stripping is just barely touching the bottom of the floor. And because I know it's going to be compressed a little bit when I put down the seal that goes on the concrete floor. And now for part 3, which is to permanently set the threshold here. So I have cleaned up the ends over here. A lot of water has come in there and it's like mud and crud and whatever. And I cleaned all along the strip there where it was sort of sealing before. And now I'm ready to lay this down, mark it up, and glue it. Alright, step 1 is layout and trim. The lines have been drawn. You can see where I messed up a little bit, but I know which line I want to use, and that's all that matters. So we're ready for glue. So I'm going to have to use this adhesive that I have left over because, of course, the amount of adhesive that they gave me wasn't enough to do the pattern that they recommended. So yeah, here I go. Well, I wanted to show you what I did. I rolled it up and started unrolling it, but I had to unroll it all at once. I couldn't stop. It was going to fall over and mess up the glue. So anyway, I had to unroll it once I started. So I couldn't show what I did. But anyway, there it is in place. I'm going to close the door and make sure everything's aligned and let it set. Alright, I've set the inside and the outside, and now we'll just let it set up for 24 hours and check it tomorrow. And we even have a little bit of rain to test it out with. So there it is, all finished, top and bottom.